see it over there. Hey, everybody. Actually, it looks like it went live early or something. Backwards. Okay, well, hey, I'm Dave Marino. This is the first time we've tried to go live from the bunker, so excuse me if there's any technical difficulties. Hopefully the mic is working this time. So this is the second time I've done this intro. So I appreciate y'all watching this video. I know a lot of people will probably be watching it later, so I just wanted to do a quick introduction before we get into all the stuff about the coronavirus and free money and stuff. So I just got elected last week as the Libertarian Party County Chair for El Paso County. I am also your Libertarian nominee for Senate District 29, which is El Paso County and all the other surrounding counties. Let me silence this real quick. Sorry about that. I've been in El Paso since 2006. I retired from the Army here in 2013. Married, got my 2 little munchkins right over here in the bunker with us. Yeah, you guys can step in the camera and say hi.
Hey.
No, you got to come over a little bit more. Come behind Coach.
There you go. Hola.
Yeah. So I've been here since 2006 in El Paso, and I really love this town. I think it's a great city. We got such a great melting pot here with the border and Fort Bliss and UTEP. A great mix of people. We get along really great. It's a very love your neighbor type of atmosphere. It's a mixture of Mexico and Texas hospitality, and it's a really great place to live. And as a libertarian, it really started to bother me that it seems like especially our local politicians seems to be taking advantage of the kind-heartedness of the El Paso community, being that we have the second highest property tax rate in the country, and we're almost at the bottom as far as median income goes. So we're making very little money, but we're spending a ton on taxes. So I'm hoping that I can educate the community on libertarianism, what it stands for, what it means, and how it can help to put money back in your pocket where it belongs, because it's your money. Libertarianism itself, just a quick explanation, revolves around the non-aggression principle, which means that nobody should be able to aggress against you, whether it's through physical violence or through fraud or through theft. And by theft, we mean the same thing like the government taking your money straight out of your paycheck without your permission. We consider that theft. So I know some people may think that some taxation is necessary, and some people think that no taxation is necessary. So there's different ends of that spectrum, and that's a great debate to have. And I usually will welcome debates like that. So before I go any further, as far as anybody that's watching this stream, I would just like to say I would like to welcome my special guest, The Evolve.
What's up, guys?
He's a YouTube streamer. He does a hip-hop reaction channel. He's just a little Eminem fan.
Just a little.
Yeah,
just a little.
So we do quite a few podcasts on his channel where we'll talk about hip-hop stuff, and then we'll somehow it'll dive into some politics and stuff, and we get into that. So I welcome any questions. If you're watching this later on, post them on my YouTube channel, post them on Facebook, whatever. I try my best to answer every question. I don't have a large audience right now, so it's not really that hard to answer anybody's questions or respond to everybody's comments. Hopefully it gets to the point where that becomes impossible for me, but not yet. So
yeah, and for some of my viewers, they were saying, "What's the channel?" And for your viewers, one of the reasons why I'm super interested in this topic, decided to come out because I'm a business owner myself, and I have several employees here on a daily basis. So I know that my company has been impacted a bit. So I'm super interested into getting this dialogue with Dave here. And for those who are with us from The Evolve, I posted up his link, so if you want to see it without the green screen, and we actually are in the bunker, man. He's got toilet paper and everything around here. So I posted up the link, so he gets super creative on his channel. So if all my viewers will go ahead and go over there, and you can see it without and see where we're at. It looks pretty funny, and you guys will be able to see the video that we're going to be playing. That's going to be up here. So definitely go so that you guys can get that full thing.
Wrinkled the green screen, man.
Oh, okay. So
the boys wrinkled the green screen.
Oh, all right then. So and you'll help me with comments, but
Yeah. If you get onto my channel, I can actually see.
Yeah,
your comments
you
right
can actually see your channel. Oh, it looks like Maria. Hey
Maria.
Maria, thank you for coming on over, guys. Go ahead over to his channel. I'll put it up again. That way, we can get into it. But I know that this is actually his cast, so I'll be kind of following his lead and whatnot, and we'll go from there. I went on and posted it up. Go ahead over so that he can help see comments. Well, and someone to help me with comments also. All right, let's do this.
Let's do this. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is how the government likes to create crises so they can swoop in as the hero and save the day, right?
Okay.
So
before it's up, Thomas, what country are you in? He said his whole country is locked down. I haven't heard of countries being locked down.
do we have toilet paper for sale? We got some toilet paper right here.
Hey Thomas, if you can hop in on that link, that way we can get. We'd like to know more and whatnot. But I'm sorry.
He said it looks way different in this stream.
I'll let
This is we got the green screen hooked up here. And, yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, go ahead though.
So, do you have toilet paper for sale? I'll let you know. So what country are they in?
Huh?
Did they say what country they're in?
He didn't, Thomas.
Italy,
no
I know. Italy, I know
yesterday.
is locked down.
Ireland, he said.
Ireland is locked down. Wow. Okay.
No Paddy's Day yesterday in Ireland.
That is crazy.
No.
So you guys couldn't go out and have a beer?
8.
Man, I'm surprised y'all didn't riot in Ireland.
So we got 15 more people that just joined on my channel. Let me just do. Hey guys, so I'm actually here with Dave Moreno, one of the representatives here in El Paso. Also camera guy. Also we cameras for each other. We're both each other's camera guy. Go over to his channel. You'll see this whole stream without the green screen. He's got us in a bunker and we chapped in, and there's like toilet paper because people are going nuts. And plus,
yeah, we got toilet.
And plus, in order to see the video that we're gonna be playing in the videos, go to his channel because I won't be able to show it because I just got my screen. So, but that's what we're gonna be talking about on today. But I'll let you go ahead through. Go to his channel. I'll put it up one more again. Yeah.
That didn't do nothing, did it? I'm trying to see if I guess it straightened it out a little bit. I had to get the bunker straight. It looked like it was collapsing. So, anyways, one of the things I'd like to go over real quick is when we're talking about, President Trump just said that he's going to give like $1,000 or $2,000 or something to, everybody that doesn't make $1 million. So, your reparations.
Reparations, man. I think it's a way of saying, hey, you finally getting those reparations.
I'm going to get reparations too.
You get reparations. No, I think a lot of people are just wondering. I think a good starting point. I think even before we play what he's been saying, a good thing is to start with the coronavirus. Has there ever been a time when we've shut down everything? Did we do this for the flu? Did we do this for? That's the thing that's amazing. Ebola.
I mean, SARS. Hey guys. Yeah. SARS, we had H1N1. I mean, it's like every couple years, at the very least, every couple years, we have some kind of pandemic that sweeps the country and or the world. It just goes all over the world and causes panic. But I've never seen a reaction to something like this. That's what's kind of amazing me. I understand that it's super contagious and it's really scary for people that are immune compromised and for the elderly, like over 80 years old. But I mean, so is the flu, So that's just really kind of what surprises me is that, that it's just not,
Well, is it more?
Seem like it.
Well, is this more dangerous? Is it because it's more dangerous than the flu and Ebola and all that stuff?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's killed 100 people in the U.S. yet, has it? I mean, I know it was getting close to 100.
Said church just got canceled.
Who said that?
Lou.
Really?
It's just gonna be streamed online at 7.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll watch it online. So.
Okay.
But anyways, I need to set this up so I can see.
Okay, while you're setting that up, I'll talk to some of the evolvers. Hey.
Oh, because I know. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, evolvers. Let me ask you guys. First of all, if you ain't on his channel, go to his channel. Do you all know of any other time where we have shut down? Like y'all probably don't know, but I run a youth business, and I have employees, but I've been told that I can't, because of schools and youth, and they've said that we can't operate in parks, we can't operate in schools. They've shut down my business, so to speak. So I like to know what everyone thinks. Is it for the better? I mean, in places like us,
It's pretty cool.
where we have we have presumptual. What's the word? I mean,
Presumptive
presumptive cases.
Presumptive confirmed cases. I don't understand that.
Do people actually have it? We've got three.
It's presumptive confirmed. So isn't presumptive and confirmed the opposite of each other? But that's what all of our news agencies here in El Paso are saying. That we have 3 presumptive confirmed cases.
And then only 2 dead in Ireland, and they shut down the whole country. And I'm reading your chat here.
I don't understand why.
No, and okay, so that way we get a certain side, because I know
Maria's saying it's not more dangerous.
Maybe we need to say this so we can see both sides. What Mike said, because he's arguing the other side. He is saying that
you know that have the virus. This is twice as dangerous. Twice as dangerous as.
Are you on the stream? Making sure we're not on. Okay, we're not on games. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to get the toilet paper.
Maria says think that the one in the chat, if you think that the media, this is that we can see where everyone's at. One in the chat if you think that the media is blowing it up, or 2 in the chat, that way we can see where we're at, or 2 in the chat if you believe that this is serious, we're taking the proper precautions, or 3 if you didn't
what's
care.
making it 10 times worse than the flu?
True.
That's what Mike said. This is 10 times worse than the flu. What makes it? I'll admit I don't pay a whole lot of attention to mainstream media. I try to. I was looking at the CDC website and trying to get. I try to get my information straight from the real sources, legitimate sources. I don't. The way the government is reacting to this, it's like the coming of the apocalypse. So I guess we'll find out if how, because from what I'm reading, it's literally like half of everybody's going to get it. Mm-hmm. So the reason why they want us to self quarantine and stuff is so that everybody gets sick at the same time and we overflow the hospitals and stuff. So what they're basically hoping that we'll do is we'll stagger the sickness out for the 50% of us that are going to end up getting the coronavirus. And the real problem with it is 90% of the people that get it won't even show any symptoms. Okay. People who have strong immune systems, the young, they won't even show any symptoms. So we'll just be talking viruses out there waiting to spread to somebody that could possibly kill.
Right. I'm doing good. He said Germany is shut down. I'm doing good there, bro. We just had like 3 cases here from where I come from. I think the big thing is I don't think that it's more deadly than like your flu or whatnot. I think the problem is that it's more contagious, and it's not airborne from our research, but it is more contagious than all those others, and that's why they're calling for that social distancing. So that you don't overwhelm, so that everyone will get it.
Maybe that. I mean, that might be the reason why they're so serious about it is because of how contagious it is and the fact that it kind of hides. It's not like the flu where you almost immediately know you got the flu. and you're contagious, so you
Right.
just stay home. So with this one, you can literally be walking around, not even know you're sick,
Watch it, Gabe.
contaminating other people. Yep, see, they're messing up. Is it this side?
Like sit there if you're not. Don't sit there. I think it's your side.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna fix it or not. How did it get messed up to begin with? I don't know.
Shoot. Nah, it's the complete opposite here. Maria said you only have parks and recreation that are centers that are closed down. Okay. No, that's closed down. It's funny because the YMCA and all of those guys, they are still open. They're doing their thing. Oh,
yeah. See, that's the other thing. So we're really. I mean, I don't want to sound heartless. Everybody's gonna die. It's gonna happen to us all, and I'm wondering. We could die of anything. It's not just this virus. I mean, are we gonna lock ourselves in our house forever? I understand, but we're causing so much damage by just shutting down the world's economy right now. And all we're doing is making ourselves even more, more reliant on government aid, and for me that scares the hell out of me because I don't like relying on the government for anything, because usually they always want something in return. And it's usually more painful than we expect.
do you think the media made it spread out? That was someone that
I don't know. It's just I think that's just all going to come out in the wash in the future. A month or 2 months or 3 months down the road when this thing is all over with, then we'll look back and say we'll look at the numbers and statistics and say, did we respond well? Was it overkill? Was the overkill worth it? I think all that's going to come out later on. It's really hard to tell the future, but I just know that the damage to small businesses right now is devastating. And we already have a problem with small businesses in this city, in El Paso, struggling because of regulation, because of overtaxation, and stuff like that. So now you just shut their business down. Especially spring break, it's like peak season for movie theaters, for parks, for these indoor recreation areas and stuff, and
yeah.
so for nonprofits that have youth sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I said, I run a nonprofit. I know steady getting more people in here. Okay, and actually over at Dave's channel, Dave Moreno, he's one of the representatives here in El Paso. He works, and plus he's running for several other different offices. So if you guys want to see the stream, because he's got us in the bunker, and we got toilet paper and everything back here. So go to his channel. So, and plus we're about to play a video right now, and if you're looking at me, you're just seeing me point to green. But if you go to his channel, you can see more. I'll post it. I'll post this stream up in the comments right now. Did we want to play a little bit of that, or did you?
So we'll play. We'll play
go
this.
through.
Let's go ahead and play it real quick, since we got about 20 some minutes to talk about it. Maria said this is practice for the government to see how much they can control. In her opinion, and it's kind of scary, because some of these mayors and stuff are, and the president has given them permission, to take as much control as you need, and that's scary. It's like I read one mayor was saying that he's going to restrict where you can't buy guns and ammo, where you can't buy gasoline except directly into your car. You can't put it in gas cans.
These mayors are cracking down.
Yeah, like you can't buy alcohol. Alcohol. They're going to shut the bars down.
Oh yeah, you can't go to the club. Mayor said no club.
Yeah. And no, in El Paso, it's like no parties greater than 6 can go into a restaurant. So if you got 5 kids, one of them's not eating.
Right.
You know what I mean? One of them gonna have to wait in the car.
That's funny.
That's messed up.
Hey Nexus, thanks for coming over to the channel and whatnot. I see a few of you all are coming over, so that's great. Be sure to subscribe and whatnot. Hey, hey Rich. I don't know if you over there. go ahead and check out his channel. That way you guys can see more. But today we're talking about, we're going to go listen. Donald Trump is giving some stimulus package. He's bailing out the system. He's bailing out regular Americans.
That's right.
We get a bailout.
I don't know, man.
I'm
Do
interested
you make a mill? Because he said if you make a mill, you ain't getting it.
Oh, shoot.
So do you make a mill?
I wish I wasn't getting it then.
I know, right?
Because that would say a lot.
But retirees are, so I'm good.
T5.
Okay, so I guess we'll get the clip played up.
This video here.
While he's getting the clip up, guys, go to his channel so you guys can see the clip and whatnot, and because this green screen is not on his channel and whatnot. I posted up the link, but we're gonna be kind of listening to what Mr. Trump had to say, because I want to know more about the monies that I'm about to get.
And this is gonna be this will be a regular podcast venue. I got it all set up kind of like a studio, so we'll shoot some some Evolve
there we go
podcasts in here too.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, so let's see, which one is it?
I believe it's going to be probably your
this one right here.
TV.
Yeah, it's this one right here. Boom.
Okay.
Should be playing now. So let's
play it.
Market and is critical to American workers. It's critical to American business, and it's critical to American savers who have a lot of that money in money market funds. So
this is the Secretary of the Treasury, I believe. So
yeah.
Just to let you all know.
We heard loud and clear there were liquidity issues. This is very significant and will create, I don't think we'll need to use it all, but we have the ability to have the Fed purchase up to $1 trillion of commercial paper as needed. That has...
Okay. Mm-hmm. He said the Fed is going to be allowed to purchase up to $1 trillion of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like to make money?
To make money, yeah. So we can purchase. We don't have to pay that back. The government don't have to pay it back.
It doesn't work that way.
That's what they're terrible.
There's Economics 101. There's no. Literally, that's the Libertarian motto for our national convention. There is no such thing as a free lunch. No such thing. I think it's like
they're just going. They're going to be allowed to make these purchases. And say.
Do we? Okay, well, we're going to move on. But
okay.
So I don't. That's my question number one. Is what does he mean by $1 trillion in paper?
Has already created significant stability in the market today. The second thing I would say is, we previously talked about deferring IRS payments. The president earlier this morning authorized me to announce this program. I have previously announced we would defer $200 billion. The president suggested we increase that to $300 billion, which we will be doing. Now, let me just be clear on the specifics. We encourage those Americans who can file their taxes to continue to file their taxes on April 15th. Because for many Americans, you will get tax refunds, and we don't want you to lose out on those tax refunds. We want you to make sure you get them. Many people do this electronically, which is easy for them and easy for the IRS. If you owe a payment to the IRS, you can defer up to $1 million as an individual.
Woo!
Oh, shoot!
Defer? You got to pay that? You got to pay money, don't you?
Yes.
You got to pay. I know you do. I know you got to pay. You got to pay. So you get to defer your payment.
What the world?
Yeah.
So, man, they're going big.
It could help you to pay those employees that you had to lay
off
for 3 weeks.
And that I used our money. So we're paying them. Okay, so let me go back to something real quick that he said that so with the money being purchased. Well, I guess he'd probably get into that because I do want to hear where the money's coming from. And all right, so far he's talking about the he said that some are not going to get far as your file taxing. Right now, you're not going to get that money back, the tax refund.
Oh no, he said that. But
some
you should file your taxes
because he says that some will.
That's because a lot of people will get tax refunds. I mean, we usually get a refund. Mm-hmm. So
right, we do.
Okay. So but that's why he's encouraging people to file their taxes so that they can get their refund because that money is going to help them right now.
Okay.
But if you file your taxes and you owe money, then you can defer paying.
Don't worry about
what you owe.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I would worry. Make sure that you follow whatever protocol you have to to get your deferment.
They
I wouldn't
said
just
don't worry about it.
don't just ignore the IRS, because you're going to learn really fast why we say taxation is theft,
All right.
is aggression.
So that's the first part. How do you feel about that? I'm okay with this, and I'm okay with the tax. With what they just said thus far, and the defer, and
Oh yeah.
this
Well,
is
I
good
mean,
for the
I
economy.
mean, it would be nice if they would just, quit taxing. If they would just. I'm all for
Okay.
just repealing the 16th Amendment to the Constitution,
Okay.
which they put in there to get an income tax. I think we should just get rid of the income tax completely, and then you could eliminate the IRS and save a fortune.
Okay.
Save
All
a
right.
fortune.
Let's play on. I'm down.
I think
with
that's
this.
one of the easiest things libertarians could do if we could get into office. If you people would start voting for us, eliminate the IRS and eliminate the income tax.
Okay.
Piece of cake.
The reason why we're doing $1 million is that covers lots of pass-throughs and small businesses, and $10 million to corporations, interest-free and penalty-free for
Corporations
90
get
days. All you have to do
millions,
is
What they need it
file
for?
your taxes.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
They're hurting too. They're gonna be
They
losing
are.
some money.
not get charged interest and penalties.
stocked
Now,
up
of
on
course,
toilet
any
paper.
American has the right to extend their taxes. We're not taking that right, but the president has asked us to go up to $300 billion. That's also an enormous amount of liquidity in the system. The
got
third
him
thing
watching
is
a
the president
stream
and I
for
worked on a
Paso. He's
very
not hungry. I
significant
told-
economic
just
stimulus
FYI.
plan. Thank you for being available last night
If
throughout
any of
this
my
morning,
people
and I will
say,
be
"Hey,
presenting
Valvy," I
that to
got
the
him
Republicans
texting, "Hi,
in
hi."
the
So
Senate this
it's-
morning, and
You're not playing games,
also
are you?
discussing that
You're on
with
the
the
show,
House. We look forward to having bipartisan support. We're now working with the Senate to pass this legislation very quickly, and these will be payments to small businesses. We've talked about loan guarantees so to critical
Defer. He owes
industries
$4,000.
such as airlines and hotels. And we've also talked about a stimulus package to the American worker. You can think of this as something like business interruption payments for the American workers. Thank you.
Okay, let's pause right there.
Secretary of the Treasury.
So we're gonna so their focus is airlines and what was it? He said airlines and who else? It was
That's all I heard was the airlines.
airlines and someone else was the focus, and then he said that they're gonna get a business interruption. So people like me, it's just it's just that here's my thing. If we go about this, we have got to there are a lot of small businesses like mine, like they don't know anything. We pinpoint airlines and casinos and banks, but I just hope that there is a plan in place. What would be the plan? How do you carry out something? But I guess I'll let him talk. So it's a business interruption, and that is for businesses. So I don't think he talked about the everyday people and what the everyday people are going to get right now. I think that's what's coming up.
Yeah, it's and this is what I'm talking about is the government created this economic crisis in the country, and now they're going to swoop in and be the heroes and be like, here, see, if you trust us, then we can save the day, when they actually created the crisis themselves. It's the same thing with...
Do you think that because Donald Trump re-election is coming, that plays a big part of him pushing so hard for this, to do, a plan? Is this, it is coming
He's got to do
around
something.
his re-election.
He's got to do something.
Well,
That's the way the government sees it, is we have to do something.
This
right?
is a fast instinct something. This is the easiest. It seems big, but
Well, the thing
obviously
is,
this is the easiest way to do something.
And I heard people saying, oh yeah, the Democrats love this because it's demolishing all of the economic progress that Donald Trump had done in the past couple of years. And I'm like, yeah, but it's backfiring because Trump can easily point, hey, it was the coronavirus, it wasn't me. So I don't think that's...
Well, there's a lot of
work.
things he's pushing. He
So
wants it done now.
How he comes out of it, how he's going to come out of it in the next couple of months, I think is what's probably going to determine how well... I really don't think anything's going to stop him from getting reelected.
True. You don't think that...
Unless we get a really solid, and I'm going to have a vote in this. If we get a solid libertarian candidate for president, and that candidate actually gets on the debate stage,
Someone did say it's not politics.
then
And,
it's always politics when you're dealing with politicians.
That's true.
It's always politics when you're dealing with politicians. You know, I tried to say that. I'm running for state senate here in El Paso for District 29. And, you know, I tried to say that. Oh, I'm not a politician. Well, guess what? If I'm campaigning for a political office, then I'm a politician. So, you know, it's always politics when it comes to politicians.
Let's go on. Someone say Trump is trying to get votes.
I don't. Yeah, of course, probably always is. You know, I don't. Anyways,
But you gotta admit, this is going to
it's going to affect the election. That's for
it's
sure.
going to get him
That's for sure.
big votes.
You think
I mean,
so?
a lot more votes.
I don't know because I mean, him sending people money is the same as Bernie saying he's going to send people money.
What he's done is not
It's
just
basically socialism.
these guys are. He's sending people money. He's putting it out. Hey, deferring your taxes.
Deferring your taxes is a good idea.
Yeah, he's going out.
Anything libertarians are all for anything that keeps you from having to pay taxes, because taxes are theft.
No, I think it's a plan, and it's It sucks because it couldn't have happened. All right, well, let's play on.
Let's keep playing because I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
When you say a stimulus package for American workers, do you mean direct payments to Americans, or are you talking about a payroll tax holiday?
Although the president likes the idea of the payroll tax holiday, I will tell you what we've heard from many people, and the president has said we can consider this. The payroll tax holiday would get people money over the next 6 to 8 months. We're looking at sending checks to Americans immediately. And what we've heard from hardworking Americans, many companies have now shut down, whether it's bars or restaurants. Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now.
Cash now. Where have I heard that from before? Where have I heard cash now?
I've heard it before, but okay, so he wants cash now.
Cash now.
So payroll holiday. That's basically they are going to. Well, they already implemented that there's supposed to be no payroll tax right now. That's something else he did. That's already got approved from my research. We're not being taxed on payroll right now. No tax.
No,
I believe that's what he said.
No, he's talking about deferring income tax to the individual.
No, but I'm telling you that they. Well, I believe that's what. Well, we'll play on. I believe that's what he said earlier on.
It's not playing. It was not playing.
We'll see. I'll see what you all are. I'm telling you, there was no. Yeah, sometimes you have to rebrowse it. There you go.
Is this it?
Mm-hmm. Huh?
At J.G. Wentworth, we say get cash now for your structured settlement.
Yeah, we did talk about it
cash
early
now?
on.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
J.G. Wentworth is right. It's my money and I need it now.
Oh, no, it's not out there.
It's my money and I need it now.
It's my money and I need it now.
It's my money and I need
it
it
is on, so they're listening to it. This is where we
If you
heard
have
it
a
from,
structured settlement and you need cash now, J.G. Wentworth can help. We'll buy all or part of your structured settlement for a lump sum cash amount, so you can pay bills that have piled up as a result of an injury or an inability to work.
So anyways,
Call J.G. Wentworth now and speak to one of our structured settlement specialists. You'll get a no-cost appraisal and have all of your questions
when I
answered.
first heard the
The call
Treasury,
is free, and there's no
when I
obligation.
first heard the Treasury Secretary going, "We want to get cash now," I was like, "That's J.G. Wentworth, man."
paste up the channel so that way you can see everything.
In the next 2 weeks.
How much?
I will be previewing that with the Republicans. There's some numbers out there.
Just the
They may be a
Republicans.
little bit bigger than what's in the press.
Please, wait, please. What help are you going to give to airlines specifically?
I've had discussions with all the airline CEOs this week. The airline CEOs have had conversations with the Senate and the House. As the president said, I was up with a subset of the Republican senators last night. I've discussed that with them. I think, as you know, this is worse than 9/11. For the airline industry, this is, they are almost ground to a halt. The president wants to make sure that although We don't want people to travel unless it's critical. We want to maintain for critical travel the right to have domestic travel.
$50 billion, is that
I'm not going to comment on the specifics. I will tell you we're very focused. There's a lot of workers. This is strategically important to us, and we'll be working with Congress on this.
I tell you, and I'm not a conspiracy theory person, right? But I think, the Libertarian Party has made great strides politically. I mean, we're the fastest growing party in the United States. We've got a lot of momentum coming into 2020. We're all fired up about it. And the state law in Texas, at least, says that we have to have our conventions after the Republican Democratic primaries. Okay. And if you vote in the Republican and Democratic primaries, then you can't vote in our conventions, right? So it's just kind of convenient that when they advertise, vote on March 3rd, they're only talking about voting in those primaries, and which eliminates you from being able to vote in our Libertarian conventions. So, and then it just so happens that this thing hits and they shut down everything between March 3rd and March 10th for the Libertarian conventions. Right, so now we can't. So now we have So now even more reason why people shouldn't come out to our conventions. And now we're poised to have our state and national convention coming up. So like April 16th to the 21st is this Texas State Libertarian Convention, and then Memorial Day weekend, which I think is May 20th through the 25th or something like that, is the Libertarian National Convention. So the Libertarian National Committee is already thinking, what are we going to do? Because literally, if we by law have to have these conventions in order to be on the ballots in all 50 states for this coming election. Okay. So I mean, this is a serious factor in this coming election, especially for third parties like Libertarian and the Green Party. So it's just, and they're shutting down all the air travel and stuff, and that's one of the things that gets me. I'm scheduled to fly to McAllen, Texas, April 16th for the state convention. Now that flight hasn't been canceled and that convention hasn't been canceled yet, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they still go forward with it.
So where do you think they're getting the money to fund this billion trillion? You think we would think we're pulling from the Social Security?
No.
You're pulling from that fund?
How are you going to pull from a pot that's empty?
Yeah.
You can't. It's empty. There is no money in Social Security. It's empty. I mean, they're literally borrowing money. Social Security and Medicare, which are it's funny because Social Security and Medicare are is 60% of our national debt comes from Social Security and Medicare, which are the only two socialist programs, really, or the two largest socialist programs that our government has. And it's literally 60% of our national debt. It is more than the Department of Defense. It costs more than the Department of Defense. Those two socialist programs. So, but anyways, no. That's the thing is let me see if I can explain this pretty simply when it comes to government and the economy. Should we finish watching?
Yeah,
or should I go into my explanation?
Well, let's finish first. We got a few minutes. I was trying to read. I've got.
Let me go into my chat real quick and see if I.
Yeah, go in the chat. Someone said I was trying to read someone's comment. They said go for it.
I'm flying out to San Diego to drive my mom back home soon, so my flight better. Okay, all right.
Hey, so you tell your.
Okay, Josh is my son, by the way. He said, I think the money's coming from... Yeah, you've been listening to me. You cheating. Josh jumping the gun on me.
Oh, okay. Hey, Evolvers, I've got to plug my phone up so you guys don't get... I got 10%, so he's getting an extension cord, so and all that good stuff. But I don't know. I want to see where the money's coming from, but
let me explain this. I can go through this real quick. Okay, so the thing is, the government does not create wealth. That's the first thing you have to understand is the government, it's impossible for the government to create wealth because they don't supply a product or service that creates wealth. So the only thing the government can do is take wealth. They take wealth from other places. They redistribute wealth. So that's all they can do. So that's the first thing we have to understand. Government cannot create wealth. So there's only a couple of places that they can get money from. So they can get money by raising taxes, which is taking from the wealth of others that have created wealth, taking that wealth and then they can use that money, right? The money that they've taken from somebody else, or they can borrow. So they can borrow from the Fed.
Yeah, someone said borrow it.
So when they borrow, but you got to understand, when they borrow from the Fed, that's what we call an invisible tax. Because as you borrow money from the Fed, you're creating more money. So you borrow $1 billion from the Fed. You just added $1 billion more into the economy, which actually lowers the value of the dollar, which in turn will increase the price of products across the country. So we have a loaf of bread costs $1.25. I'm just making up prices. I don't know how much bread costs. But anyways, we'll say a loaf of bread costs $1.25. Yeah. The government borrows $1 trillion from the Fed, so that's $1 trillion more into the market, saturating the market, which lowers the value of all the other dollars that are already out there, which means your dollar is now worth less than it was yesterday. So the price of bread goes up to compensate. So it's literally, when they borrow money from the Fed, it's a tax on everybody that buys anything. So that's the two ways that the government gets money. Either way you look at it, somebody is paying for it, and it's not the government. It's not the politicians, because like I said, they cannot create wealth. So,
man, the Evolvers, that makes sense. Evolvers, you guys are putting up a lot of comments. So sorry, I want you all to get in this. You all are saying a lot. I can barely see it, but if you all will come over to his channel and type in his chat, we can kind of see it. We got it on the screen. I've got my phone back here. I'm actually on his channel. Plus, you'll be able to see the video and all that good stuff. So please go to his channel. That way I can keep up with the comments just in case, because some of you all are like typing paragraphs, and I want to relay that so that we can see, but and whatnot. But yeah.
Tiffany says, isn't there a federal emergency fund for things like this, though? As far as I know, no.
Not trillions
the U.S. government is completely inefficient and incompetent. They can't balance a budget better than you can. Hey, do you have an emergency fund at home? I have a little bit of an emergency fund. I could probably survive for a month without a paycheck, but yeah, it's not likely that the government has any kind of emergency fund whatsoever, because they would have spent it just like they did Social Security.
It's plugged in.
There's also another one. Yeah, Maria says, yeah, but they take taxes from lower income communities and the middle class. You cannot really gain money without taking money from the middle class. It's almost impossible. So that we're going to go ahead and continue. So I wanted to get that economy 101 thing, at least bureaucratic economy, or how the government gets money. I want to try to get that simple explanation out there before we go any further, because the politicians, when they're talking about, we're going to do this and we're going to give that, and they never talk about where they're going to get that money from and what kind of an effect that money is going to have. And I'm not a college graduate economist or anything. I just studied a little bit of Milton Friedman, a little bit of Hayek, and some world-renowned economists, and tried to
Someone said the taxpayers are the emergency fund.
Yeah, right. That's a good one.
Hey, what's up, Rich? Thanks for coming over. He's our moderator over at Evolve. Evolve. So he came over.
Hey, Rich.
He did say there's no federal emergency fund. So let's finish.
Okay, let's finish up let me finish up the video here. We've got a few more minutes of it. See what kind of craziness they're talking about.
The airline industry will be in good shape. Yeah, go ahead, please. There's been talk about $1,000 checks to every American, decreasing support among Republicans and some Democrats for that. Would you support that going to everyone, or would you support some sort of income restriction on who gets a check?
Well, I think it's clear we don't need to send people who make $1 million a year checks, okay? But that's one of the ideas we like. We're going to preview that today, and then we'll be talking about details.
At least we know Congress ain't getting no checks.
There you go.
We're going to do something that gets money to them as quickly as possible.
Make over $1 million.
That may not be an accurate way of doing it, because obviously some people shouldn't be getting checks for $1,000. And we'll have a pretty good idea by the end of the day what we're going to be doing.
Mr. Secretary.
Yeah, John, can you tell how would the mechanics of this work? We've been talking about a payroll tax holiday, some $500 billion worth was floated to me today. So how would this idea of sending people a check work? Would that be sort of advance on what they would pay in payroll tax?
Again, we want to make sure Americans get money in their pockets quickly. We want to make sure small business owners have access to funds. We want to make sure that hotels Airlines, we have an entire package. We'll be laying out those details later today.
Yeah, I have to say this. There are 4 different ways you can do it. That's it. 4. You can hear me well enough, I imagine.
What's the 4 ways?
Okay. People at home, you're right. Those are very important people. Come to think of it, especially you people. Look, we have 4 or 5 ways we can do it. 4 ways in particular. I think there's a 5th possibility, but there are some very good ways of getting the money out and getting it out quickly. Payroll tax is one way, but it does come over a period of months, many months, and we want to do something much faster than that. So I think we have ways of getting money out pretty quickly and very accurately. Okay?
Can you talk about the timeline, please? How quickly do you think you can get this done?
The president has instructed me we have to do this now. So this is now.
By the end of the week?
We are going to work with the Senate, who's in session right now, actively. We will continue to have conversations with the House. I've already spoken to Speaker Pelosi once today. This is stuff that needs to be done now. The president has instructed me that this is no fault to American workers. For medical reasons, we are shutting down parts of this economy, and we're going to use all the tools we have, as I've said, and what tools we don't have, we're going back to Congress. I got to go back to
$850 billion. To those who might be concerned that's too expensive?
We don't want to talk about it, but it's a substantial number. We're going big. The expression, we could do it 2 ways. We could keep going back every day
We're going big.
We're going big.
We're going big.
And,
Big.
That's where,
Super bigly.
Mitch McConnell, that's the way he wants to go. That's the way I want to go. I think we want to get it done and have a big infusion as opposed to going through little meetings every couple of days. We don't want to do it that way. We want to go big, go solid. The country is very strong. We've never been so strong, and that's what we're going to be doing. We don't want, with this invisible enemy, we don't want airlines going out of business. We don't want people losing their jobs or not having money to live when they were doing very well just 4 weeks ago. So we're going big, and that's the way it'll be.
He talks about going big. He doesn't exactly say what it is, though. That's what I'm saying.
Any other questions for Steve?
In addition to airlines and hotels.
So I think that's where we.
Yeah. So that was stuff. Okay. So. All right, here's my thoughts on the giving the money and the 1,000, and he actually said that it may be more than what is in the media, so you may get more than 1,000. Actually, here's my thing. Yes, something needs to be done. I mean, I had 13 employees. I made a way. We actually had a building fund that we've been using for emergency, so I paid them. I had to. All of our schools and everything were shut down, so they couldn't work. So I had to get them other places to like volunteer, and then we like paid them and whatnot. But we paid them; it was our money. But anyway, there is something. I believe that there is something that needs to be done. There's a crisis. Companies are shut down, and a lot of other different things. And I'm okay. Me myself, I'm okay with. Now I do believe that this is it's the easiest and quickest way to handle the problem. It is it sparks it right now.
But the bad thing is, a problem created by the government.
It was created by the government, and at the end of the day, I think my biggest issue with it when I'm looking down the line, when I'm looking at it, is that I look at what are you going to pay? All right, with your $1,000, I think that there needs to be a better way. I guess. With the $1,000, the main people, if it's just going to go back to, there are three main companies that actually run the rental and the housing. These companies, if it's just going to, what I'm saying is people are going to use this money to, pay for their rent. It's going back into certain corporations. Mm-hmm. The 3 top that are over, there's like 3 top. I think there needs to be a little better way than that helps rather it's through like take student loans, or there gotta be a better way to give the money. Here's an example. I know libertarians hate this, but take the food stamp program. If you were to say, all right, we're gonna give 1,000 here, and then people are also gonna get 500 more in food stamps. Okay, so now we've got the rental, and we put money in that industry. We're also the food and the market, and it needs to be somehow needs to be a spread. There needs to be I can't exactly think of the words, but if we want to stimulate, we can't just give money. But I think because Someone else.
Well, the
Was
first
it
thing we
Obama?
need to do is open up business again.
Right.
We got to get businesses open again. So
I
we
want to
somehow
direct
we're
the-
going to
direct
have
the
to
money
we're going to
into
have
the
to
main
find
parts.
we got to find a way to get through this fear, and we got to start moving again. I mean, so we can't just sit here and hide in our bunkers, with our stash of toilet paper, and not work. For one thing, I mean, are you going to bail out the local restaurant? Your favorite restaurant down the
This is
street
the
that
thing,
is
you've
making
gotta-
their rent's going to come due. Their taxes are going to come due. They got to pay those taxes, man. I mean, it's
Right.
So how are we going to help those small businesses that employ so many people? I mean, how long are you going to be able to stay out of business?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, how long until you lose those 13 employees?
Right.
I mean, that's where the focus has got to be, is to get the economy moving again.
So
Thankfully, most of our business, so much of our business is done online. I mean, my wife, she's an engineer with T-Mobile. She does she handles switch. She fixes the towers and stuff, but she works the switch side.
It's just weird.
So she can work from home. So a lot
I
of
would
people work from
rather
home.
I would rather say, hey, take your money and say I can open up. Let that be on me. Let's take your money.
Right.
I don't want
that's
your money.
That's what I don't
Like,
understand.
I'm gonna make more than $1,000. I'm gonna make. I know me personally. I don't want the money. My staff.
Let you open up your business, right?
Yeah, let me open.
Because you're
up.
probably losing more than $1,000 for sure.
My
Especially during spring break for
especially
you.
during spring break. I told you how much we're losing.
I know.
It's
I know.
insane.
It's about
So, let me-
900 times.
Oh, God.
90 times.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Let me open up. Let it be I want it to be a. Why tell me that I have to shut down? And I would rather. And that's just me. I know.
I don't understand how. I mean,
social.
I kind of understand where people are coming from. Before the people who are really scared and
Some people don't need to be
about how deadly this
the
virus is.
elderly, we don't need them out there. The elderly.
Yeah, but the
and those that are
problem is
successful.
if we start gathernizing,
Mm-hmm.
we start gathernizing as a community. You're just good with it as a word now, right? If we start gathernizing as a community, we can pass the virus along to people who won't show symptoms, and then they go to their elderly grandparents and stuff and pass it on to them, and they die. So that's where the fear is. It's not so much. It's the fact that this virus stays hidden inside of healthy people. So I understand that paranoia, but I mean, we can't just shut life down. I mean, I don't understand how we can order bars and taverns and restaurants to close their doors, literally forcing these businesses to close and forcing customers not to go. So, I mean, if that's not a violation of your individual liberty, I don't know what is. I mean, we have a right to keep our businesses open and a right to serve those customers that want to come in and be served by us. And why should the government have the right to say no? I don't understand that. That's not in the Constitution. So much of what the government's doing right now is completely unconstitutional, and there's a reason why, and that's because our Constitution was written to restrict government. Something else I think a lot of people don't understand is our Constitution does not grant us rights. It restricts the government from violating our rights. So usually when stuff like this happens, the first thing that happens is the government starts violating our rights. They start violating the Constitution. Let's just hi. That's bad, Rich. Man, I pray for your wife. You can't even go visit. See, that's ridiculous. I mean, how are they? They're stopping you from visiting your wife. This is out of control. This is government out of control. I understand they're trying to do good, but I mean, it's out of control. Rich is saying his wife got hit by a car. She's in a nursing home right now, and he can't go visit her.
Oh shoot!
And the doctors want him to see her. The doctors want him to see her outside of the nursing home. So.
Wow.
I mean, this is just. I mean, it's out of control. Government control. It's out of control. Government control.
So is there like fine print in the Constitution that says that
like
that,
my videos?
Yeah, the Constitution is void. All that is void.
Yeah. In case of emergency, throw this thing away.
It's void.
Yeah. Use it as toilet paper. In case of emergency, use the Constitution as toilet paper.
Right.
No, there's no fine print
that say, hey, the government be. It's just weird though. Like, I would like the choice. I didn't know what everybody else think, man.
Online shops are sold out. That's what Josh is saying. Yeah, that me too, Rich. I'm not scared of the virus. I'm not scared of the virus. I'm scared. My wife has elderly parents that are here in town. I told her, I was like, you need to really restrict yourself from going to your mom's. If she needs something, then make sure you wash really well. You get it. I would limit my contact with her, and just tell her and her dad to stay home. So I'm not scared. I mean, I got a really good immune system. I take pretty good care of myself. You see, I'm filling up with some probiotics right here.
So, we don't want to ask, but what I want to ask, with the $1,000, would that, if your wife was out of work, would $1,000 would be would it help throughout the month? Would it help pay the bill?
If they're going to send it to me, I'm going to cash it because I know I'm paying for it in the back end anyways. So you know what I mean. So I mean, if they're going to send it,
to be more. I think they're just teasing.
Why don't we just make it $10,000?
I just feel like
if he wants to go big, let's go big.
I just feel like
they all want to go big, so
maybe $1,000 a week. And I'm not even greedy. I'm good.
Didn't Bush do that? Didn't Bush do that back in the day?
Bush was the one that had a stimulus.
He had a similar stimulus package.
He had a stimulus package. I got a random check. It was long ago, but I was like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it just feel like it's meant as a tease to show that I am doing something.
Why are we that blurry? So that's what I was saying. We're blurry.
We are a bit blurry. Yeah, I don't know. We'll work on it. But it's more like a tease. Let me see what the I guess we haven't checked.
Maria's stocking up on guns and ammo. She says you live in a hood though. I don't blame her.
Canada has been great. All my bills put ahead 4 months. No hit. Oh, you know what could solve this problem? You know what? Crypto. This is why it's the best. Bitcoin. I've got money in Bitcoin. Because let me tell you this. I think a big solution to all of this is going to be Bitcoin in the future. Because
libertarians love. Matter of fact, the speaker at our national convention is a Bitcoin person.
Because with Bitcoin, you know what? The government has no control, so government can shut down, and because these banks can shut down, all that stuff can shut down, but your money is isolated somewhere else, and you can use, and they're not controlled over your business and your money because it's not a currency that is regulated, but yet it's not even traceable.
So would you rather have $1,000 or 1 Bitcoin?
Oh shoot! Well, I have 1.7 Bitcoins, and that's like $13,000.
No, it's down now. It's down right.
Is it down? I haven't even checked it.
That's the thing about Bitcoin.
That's the thing. It does.
It fluctuates.
I need to check.
It fluctuates bigly.
It fluctuates bigly.
You don't want to mess with Bitcoin. We're gonna give a bailout to everyone except Rosie O'Donnell. She doesn't need no bailout. She's big enough.
He doesn't like Rosie.
He doesn't like a lot of people.
He doesn't like Rosie O'Donnell. I don't know what happened in the past.
Our president.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think Bitcoin would be definitely something you should definitely look into because
I'm buying some Bitcoin.
When the government shuts down,
especially after this,
when these banks shut down, when they shut down your money,
Fed collapses.
Yeah, when this stuff collapses, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, and you're gonna it's kind of like with Social Security. At any point, they're gonna say, "Hey." At any point they can tell me when I get 65, there is no money in Social Security.
What is he said nano. There's
all that money you put in the bank, oh yeah, got shut down. 10 years from now, something could happen. Yeah, we We don't have that
Maria
money.
says she's moving to Mexico.
We don't have that. Just think about that. They control the money. They control the bank. So at any point, they can say, "Yeah, hey, we had shut it down. There's no money. There was a tragedy. Something happened."
The Fed's going to implode on itself eventually.
It is stuff.
I mean, most
like
of the
this
economists
happens.
are saying
Look,
that.
This
That's
is just
gonna
we
happen.
just had like presumable cases and we shut down. You know, from making money and having money. I mean, now is the best time, and that's why I say Bitcoin, something that is away from government, putting your money, establishing it somewhere. I've been doing that. There's that actually with my app, charging that stop temperatures too. Oh, because it's at the light.
No, that light's not that hot. It's LED.
No.
Shouldn't
Why
be.
is it acting like that? Okay, so one thing that the app do with the Bitcoin is that it automatically, you know how like payroll taxes and whatnot, but it automatically puts $100. I put $100 in a week in Bitcoins. It automatically goes to whatever income. So, and it automatically translates to Bitcoins for me.
See, I don't like that because you're already
That's just
using
me.
dollars. So if you really want to use Bitcoin right, is you sell products or services for Bitcoin. And that way you're completely out of the government system.
For sure.
So if you're buying Bitcoin with dollars, then you're already using the dollar. You know what I mean? You're already using the Fed currency. You're already using the Fed currency in order to buy the Bitcoin. So. But crypto is an interesting concept.
So
I don't know. You know, if the
way.
Fed collapsed, I don't know how much Bitcoin is going to save you, though.
What do you mean? It's not by the it's nothing federal. So whatever you have in there, it's your money, and you don't stop. I mean,
Can you buy toilet paper with it?
And if more companies become like, that's why I'm saying it's the future. If
the Fed collapsed, then a lot more people would be accepting Bitcoin.
And that's the thing. If more people accept Bitcoin, then this is untraceable money. You're not going to get shut down. The federal government gets shut down, but hey, I got Bitcoin to buy because that store, Community Evolved, they sell toilet paper. Here's the Bitcoin. I mean, we're still we don't need
Bitcoin
that money.
There's no sales tax.
If you
earn money through Bitcoin, then there's no income tax.
Right.
You know, eventually, I mean, there's some places that are saying like if we could buy property with Bitcoin, then there'd be no property tax. But you know, that's not one we can. You know, property tax is the slave tax. For real. And I didn't understand this until Mons, what's his name, Jacob, Mons is a Libertarian candidate for president, and he explained that how property taxes are a slave tax. Because literally, if you think about it, because of property taxes, even if you own your property, you still have to work in order to pay those property taxes. So anything a tax that requires you to continue working is a slave tax. Like you literally can never stop working because you always have to pay that. But you never actually own your home because you got to pay taxes on it every year.
You do.
And so property tax is your slave tax.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said,
I got a lot of those side notes like
the
that.
government can stop at any moment. It can shut down, and I know I'm already looking forward to it. I know I won't have Social Security. I know that whole program. I know that won't be there by the time. Oh, is it gonna be done in like 10 years? Anyone that is looking forward to that, it's just don't look for it. I mean, you've got to start planning now. Like in 10 years, we're already behind, so to speak. The people that are paying the people that are paying into Social Security now, they are paying for the people that have already getting Social Security checks. We're paying for them, the people that are paying in now. We're so behind, and there's got to be a better way.
I'm gonna check out that nano he's talking about.
There's got to be a better system. And why is my phone ringing? It's going down, and it's still hot. It won't charge. Sorry, guys.
It's a nice little jam.
I'm sorry, that's my ringtone. There, guys. Let me turn this off. I know it's super loud in your ear. I'm sorry. People are like, I'm out of here.
Unprofessional.
I am.
What do we got here? Look at all the chaos. Imagine terrorists attacking the power grid. Yeah, that's... I don't know, man. They got their own problems. I don't. Actually, that didn't. That kind of made me a little darker, I think.
Did it make you darker?
No, not really. Not that bad. It's not that bad.
I can put it out. I just need
Although, I could turn this one a little bit.
make that one better.
Actually, I just think it might have darkened the background a little bit.
Apparently, it won't change. Sorry, guys, I'm back.
My tune. Thomas said that's his tune. That's yeah. The property taxes here in El Paso we're the second highest homestead property tax in the nation, and we are the second to last amongst large cities in median income. So we're literally one of the poorest large cities in the country and pay second to the highest property taxes. The only one that is number one in higher property taxes is Detroit. The only one that is lower than us in median income is Detroit. So
yeah.
So El Paso is almost Detroit. You do have a shining. No, you messed it all up because you got the light shining right into the camera now.
Oh shoot! It is.
So you just messed up the whole illusion for everybody.
Oh, sorry guys. I guess I'll do that.
You could probably maybe just shut that light off. We gotta give it a second. We're still behind.
How's it looking? It's just that there's not.
Let me go in OBS and look.
Ice pack there. Let me get something in.
Yeah, you fixed it.
Be right back there, guys.
How am I just gonna stay charged? Give me a second. Just need a.
Yeah, Detroit has actually entire neighborhoods that are shut down. Sacked. Property taxes are out of control in New York. It's funny you say that because New York, even New York City, pays less property taxes than El Paso and Detroit. So New York usually goes after corporate property taxes a lot. So they raise their corporate tax rate, which the corporate tax rate here in El Paso is pretty high too. So that's why I was saying even for small businesses and stuff, the regulation and taxes for small businesses, it hurts them as it is. So that's one of the reasons why I want to get the Libertarian message out about smaller government, reducing government control and their ability to control our lives. Maybe we'll get lucky and this whole coronavirus thing will end up backfiring and getting people to really look at hey man, the government went too far this time. They went way too far. We got businesses shutting down that can't reopen, people losing their jobs, unemployment rate through the roof, all because you guys overreacted over this thing and took way too much control. Hopefully that'll happen and people will start looking for another option and start looking at the Libertarian Party. LP.org. That's the website for the Libertarian Party. I'll put it in chat right now. That's the official website for the Libertarian Party. I didn't come up. Maybe I could do it as a website. Either way. So that could be one positive thing that comes out of this whole mess. I just did a video. If you look just a few minutes ago, I posted a video I did yesterday about, went over some of the things like price gouging. Like we had Governor Abbott here in Texas that said, I'm going to fine any company that gets caught price gouging. I'm going to fine them $500. And I'm like, oh, so you're just going to make sure that the poor cannot get anything. You're going to ensure that there's scarcity of products across the board, because price gouging, that's government control of products distribution, will literally ensure that there's no products available. So through supply and demand, the natural course or the natural ecosystem of the free market, would say that once supply starts to go down and demand goes up, the prices go up, so people will be less likely to hoard products. So, toilet paper stayed the same price. That's the reason why it flew off the shelves, and there's none available now. And then as they stock it back up, since companies aren't allowed to raise the prices of it to a point where people will be hesitant to stockpile, like maybe double the price, then people will be like, oh, no, I don't think I need that much toilet paper. But then somebody who is literally out of toilet paper would be like, I'll pay double the price for it, So that's how the government creates scarcity, through not allowing the free market system to handle its business, so to speak. Maria, I understand the reality is the public won't look at it that way, but one person at a time. That when I started this campaign in November as the Libertarian candidate for Senate, and now I'm now the county chair of the Libertarian Party in El Paso, and that's been my focus, is just one person at a time. If I can get one person at a time to start looking at libertarianism as an option to the duopoly that's been destroying this country for the past 100 years, literally since 1914, when they instituted the income tax and the same year instituted the Fed, then I consider it a success. Just grow this party, just one idealist at a time. So. There's a reason why celebrities are mostly Democrats, because they're millionaires. Most millionaires are Democrats. So just saying. There's a reason why most millionaires are Democrats. There are a few famous libertarians. They aren't that very outspoken, though. They don't get in front of the mics enough. Clint Eastwood's one of them. Comes right off the top of my head real quick. The comedian guy who used to do I think he did the Price is Right, and he was whose line is it anyway? Carey? Drew Carey? I think it's Drew Carey. He's one of the most outspoken libertarians. So there's a few. You said the government's plan is to illuminate the poor, or eliminate the poor. I think you mean eliminate the poor? No, the government's plan is to create more poor. Yeah, Drew Carey. Yeah, that's... Hey, Matu. So yeah, and another thing I want to talk about is that I almost forgot till you said they're trying to eliminate the poor. Actually, if the government has its way, if it continues this power grab and this centralization of power in the government, eventually our poor, all of us will be poor, because especially with socialism, socialism creates it creates income equality by creating massive poverty. So we'll equally all be poor with socialism. That's how it's happened throughout history. So there's no reason to think that it's not going to happen here. So So yeah, they're not looking at eliminating the poor. They're looking at expanding the poor. So, but what I want to talk about is mandatory vaccinations.
Oh, shoot. Is that what you are on?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about right now is mandatory vaccinations. They come out with a vaccination for the coronavirus, and they make it mandatory. Are you going to take it?
No, I've never taken it. I would.
You never taken a vaccination?
No, I don't take vaccinations. I've never done anything.
So what do you think about them forcing you to?
I would take
like literally saying you can't go into the schools.
I would take a fine.
But they say you can't go into the schools unless you're vaccinated.
I'm not. Here's the thing, guys. Believe it or not, I've never been vaccinated. I've never taken any. I've never been into any hospitals. I've never had a cold, a flu, a chicken pox. And I think it's because of that. I've never put any type of antibiotics in
Freak of nature.
In my body. nothing. And I'm not gonna start now. It was a if we call my mom, I was using that phone. She's not on this one, but it's just because some people sometimes don't believe. But sometimes I would just call. I put my mom on speaker.
His real mom, not the one that.
Yeah, my real mom, and she was like, hey, yeah, he's never been sick when he was young, and that was just one of the things I do. But yeah, that's just me. I would have to take a fine or a little jail time if
That's like most libertarians are. They're like, nah,
I won't.
Really, ain't forcing anything. For one thing, what gets me is if they try to force us to vaccinate. It's like, oh, you're gonna force me to consume something, and then when I want to consume something, you're gonna arrest me for it.
So you're gonna force me, and then later on down the line, we're all monkeys. We all got AIDS, and they done did population control. I mean, why you force something?
But that's what they could do, is they could literally limit your access to areas because you don't vaccinate.
They can.
They can't. I mean, it's unconstitutional. But, I mean, look at all the stuff that they're doing right now that's unconstitutional because of this virus. It's like, how much do we want to let them get away with, people?
Someone said that
at some point we got to draw the line and be like, look, y'all are out of control, and we got to fire them. And the way you can fire them is by voting for the Libertarian. Across the board. You're not going to have Libertarian candidates for every single spot on your ballot in November, but you're going to have enough to where you can make a difference. Just by plugging that Libertarian Party in there, you're going to make a difference. It's going to wake them up. Be like, hey, they're getting kind of antsy about us grabbing all this control. So.
Right. This person said they need they need that toilet paper urgently because they are about to themselves.
Shoot, man. I don't know. This has got to last my family till this crisis is over.
That's good stuff, man.
How's he saying that on the one with the green screen? Really?
Yeah.
You can't even see the toilet paper on that one.
Right. That needs all. So I guess he's just talking.
We got all wrinkled up here now too.
Yeah, go to the link. Go to his channel, guys. And subscribe up.
Maria don't trust the government at all.
Hmm?
Maria. We get along great. We on the same sheet. Me and Maria, we tracking.
Right.
We tracking like a tow missile.
So, I guess that's the only people that don't. You can still keep making albums. Now is the best time to become a SoundCloud rapper.
Buy MGK albums, man. Mumble rock.
Mumble rock.
You're gonna put out MGK putting out a mumble rock album. That's all I gotta know. That's all I know.
So yeah, it's funny. That's funny.
It can't work in the U.S. Socialism can't work in the U.S. because of the simple piece of paper that established the U.S. called the Constitution of the United States. So you have to violate so many amendments to the Bill of Rights in order to institute socialist programs. Yeah, they're already been violated, but that doesn't mean that they're right. So. And simple, it's plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
The government is completely incompetent and completely inefficient at handling anything, and should be limited to the smallest degree possible, like national defense, maybe the court system, and that's it. I mean, anything you're going beyond that, and you're dealing with areas that they just simply cannot be trusted to deal with. I mean, they're flawed human beings like the rest of us, selfish in nature and flawed, and they're dealing with money that is not theirs. So they have no skin in the game. So they have nothing to lose by spending all of your money on whatever stupid idea they come up with. And it's not something that we should be trusting government with, especially things like healthcare. I mean, that's ridiculous to think that if you want to know what government healthcare is like, just ask any veteran what it's like to go to the VA. That's government healthcare. And I'll tell you from experience, it sucks. Matter of fact, the VA promised me that they were going to call me for an ear, nose, and throat appointment to follow about my sinus infection. Friday afternoon. By Friday end of the day, I should have had an appointment. Here it is, Wednesday end of the day, and I haven't heard nothing.
Okay, so let's just get right into it, because I hear you talking a lot about the government don't know, whether it's Republicans or Democrats. But I see how Donald Trump is handling this situation. He is doing something. how would the Libertarian, this crisis, wouldn't they kind of do the same wouldn't they bail out, small companies? What would they do? How would they handle the coronavirus? Well, and that, before you answer that, can we get a vaccine? We're bailing out and we sending money. Can we send some vaccines? Is that going to come with the bailout or whatnot? Is that going to come on top?
We'll give you the $1,000 if you take this vaccine. Would you take it? Would you take it? You take the vaccine? $1,000? No. Not enough money.
But anyway, so tell us, how would a Libertarian?
So the Libertarians would.
What are they doing with the corona crisis and
they would have done? There would have been a lot of advisories for the Libertarians.
Okay.
We don't believe in restricting people's liberties. So I mean, the that goes against our philosophy is the non-aggression principle. We don't believe in forcing people and violating their individual liberty or a business's individual liberty to run their business. So there would have been a lot of advisories if it was a Libertarian running things. It would have been, hey, you may want to, do some social distancing. Make sure you wash your hands more. Protect your elderly, and there would have been a lot of advisory things going out.
So they weren't shutting down. So
no, they wouldn't have been restricting businesses or anything like that.
If that didn't work and it starts to spread now because people are staying in work, what are they doing? What is the Libertarian doing?
Letting the free market system handle it, because that's the best system.
Okay.
To fix anything like this. As soon as the government gets involved, the same thing with the test kits. The government got involved, they tried to do too much, and then the test kits were severely delayed. So now, cities are just now finding out how many people they might have infected because they were so delayed by the FDA, a government agency.
What is the Libertarian, what would a Libertarian do about these people are average citizens? The people that this hurts the most, we're out of work for 4 weeks. They're out of work for a month. And what are they doing?
Well, they wouldn't have been out of work for 4 weeks because a Libertarian government would not stop them from working.
Okay. All right, then. But
would not have restricted them from working.
Oh, okay. So they wouldn't have been restricted.
So we wouldn't be forcing businesses to close. We wouldn't be forcing businesses to limit their hours. So would that cause
more cases?
More cases? We'll never know, because that's not what happens. So we'll never know.
Okay.
So sometimes as far as government's concerned, a Libertarian philosophy is most of the time less is more. Less government means more benefit, more flourishing, more citizens taking control and handling their business. They're threatening businesses with fines and stuff if they're caught, doing things that are running their business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get fined.
If we're caught at the park.
Yeah, if you're caught at the park playing ball,
you're getting
fined.
We're getting fined. So.
It's crazy. It's madness, if you ask me. But.
Does the free market deem testing necessary? Probably not, Bobby Deaver said. National defense and court systems is not something we should be trusting government with either. I think defense is right up the alley. I'm not necessarily totally on board with that, but with regards to defense, what do you think about that?
What's that?
He said that the government shouldn't be trusted with, the defense, the national defense.
National defense?
And
that's a tough one.
The government, that's right up their alley. That's something that's part of the Constitution. That's part of what they should be
providing
doing.
for the national defenses.
That's part of what they should be doing.
There's some extreme libertarians.
No, he said the
that.
court system.
The court system?
Yeah. He said not the national and the court
system. Some extreme libertarians will take it that far and be like, police, fire, everything can be privatized. I think it could happen, but there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of steps between here and there that we need to take. Let's start out with eliminating worthless organizations like the ATF and the IRS and stuff like that. We'll work our way to that libertarian utopia when we get there, but we're so far from it right now. I would just like to start taking steps in that direction instead of steps in the opposite direction. I will tell you this, as far as national defense is concerned, a libertarian president or a libertarian elected officials would pull everybody out of all of these worthless conflicts that are killing our sons and daughters and brothers and sisters for no particular reason except for somebody's political agenda. That's plain and simple, like Syria, like Iraq, like potentially Iran, like Afghanistan. All these conflicts are over. If you would vote for a libertarian, all these conflicts are over. They're the only party that I guarantee you will bring our soldiers home.
So Bobby can't understand why we're saying that they should not be in charge of. Why should they be in charge of national? That is the main job that they should be doing. Is per far as the
foreign
national
policy.
defense.
Foreign policy and
That
national
is the
defense.
job
It's the federal government.
Yeah.
But if you, I don't know if this is what you're referring to, but constitutionally, what they meant by a militia was that each state would have its own militia, and the federal government would have the authority to rally all the militias in the case of national defense. So literally, we would basically have one giant reserve military of civilians. And I think that's great in theory, but that would be really difficult to handle right now. And the state, it would weaken. I think it would weaken our global posture in the world, pretty extreme. So I wouldn't want to do that. Pulling all of our troops home and reducing the numbers tremendously, just through attrition. I'm not saying we kick everybody out, but just letting people get out of the military and not recruiting somebody back in at the bottom, then I think, we could save a fortune for one, federal budget wise, if we pulled everybody back home. And then we establish what actually the Department of Defense, defense being the key word here, national defense.
My whole thing is that
we accomplish that goal of defense.
Right?
Defense, not offense. Defense.
I just can't get happy about the $1,000.
You're not thrilled about that?
I just can't be. It's like, because I want business open, because it's like, hey, it's funny because what they did is we're shutting down your business, but we're gonna give you $1,000. So, but I don't know.
M4A. What's M4A?
So I'm talking about it's more perspective.
Medicare for all? Is that what it is? M4A? Medicare for all. Privatization is just another tool of the capitalists to make money off of suffering. That's not true, though. We had a free market. We had a free market medical care system forever. It was the best in the world, the most innovative. If you get rid of it's not. It's not just a free market system. You got to get government out of the medical system completely, and then you can see how the free market would flourish.
Oh, we got Bernie Sanders supporter.
Yeah.
You need a job. You get a job.
You get a job. You get a job. You get help.
You need child care? We
got your child care.
We got your job. We'll watch your kids.
Child care. We'll watch your kids.
You need a paycheck? You got it. Everyone gets it. Well, you got to think Bernie Sanders like, I bet should make a meme like that. I bet free health care for everyone don't sound so bad now.
Ma too says she wants $1,000 a week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would she trade that for having her job?
No. I can answer that for you. She probably would. She'd probably be like, I'll take the pay cut.
So I'm guessing the way that they're going to see about the money's get out is they'll go by the 2018 taxes. That'll probably be the best way to give out far as money firsthand. That way you know who to give out, those that are registered.
So what do you think the cutoff's going to be for income wise? 100,000?
Oh, the cutoff. That's a good.
100 grand.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's good. I think, and I look at I think that's like super. I think that's like almost dead on, because did you know that they said that the average there's been a science that what do you think they did research far as wealth, and the most happiest point to get far as wealth, what do you think it is a year? They said that some people have too much money, some people have too less, but they actually came up with an actual
number.
They actually came up with a number that they said has been they did like a survey of like 40,000 people, and plus they did far as a lot of different, but I just read the article. And what do you think the average, once you get to that, you're usually good, far as you can pay everything, you're not worrying, you're not, everything is great, and you're actually pretty content right there. And they said that this is the point where you're actually at wealth success, and you're not just getting finance, and you're actually good on everything all around. Mortgage, bills, you have you have that ability to pay off credit cards and put money there. You can create an emergency fund. These people, when they're at that point, that is wealth. And that is not too much where you...
And this is a national average, or?
Yeah, this is the actual national average of wealth. Once you get there, they said you're good.
150K.
No, it's actually it was lower.
100K?
Lower.
Lower than 100,000? They don't live in California then.
They said once people
they don't live in New York or California.
They said once people get at making 85,000, at least 85,000 a year, that's been proven.
You said at least. You said this is a dead on target.
Yeah, well, that is their target. 85,000 or up. 85. It was because they did a it was like 10,000 span. If you're like between 85,000 and 95, then that is considered wealth, and your good well-being, far as the sanity and far as everything, and being able to put. And they said it's at that area that you're still humbled and contempt, but once you start getting into higher levels,
there's a lot of things to consider, though. You want family size and stuff like that. Yeah.
But that's what say. People that are at that mark, and that's why I said when you said 100K, I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, even those at 85, between 95, that's the average. Yeah, that they would still benefit and wouldn't want that $1,000. What do you think about that average? You thinking 150K?
Well, I was thinking as a national average. Yeah. As a national average, I would think that would be all right. I mean, we have such a large population that live in California and New York, and those you barely scraping by at 100K in California and New York. I mean, you ain't even paying for gas.
Someone said, it's considered 100K is considered the minimum.
Yeah, well, Josh just moved from there. That's like a minimum to survive in California. It's crazy expensive. Why do you think the homeless rate is so crazy there?
It is.
It's through the roof. And that's what kind of scares me about this whole virus is, how is LA doing? They got 50, 60,000 homeless in LA that are just living cramped conditions on the streets.
What are they doing about them? See, they're more than forgotten. You don't show
them. We don't pay no attention to those guys, right?
It's because they're not paying, and they're not paying any money. They're not paying taxes.
They don't vote either. So.
And they don't vote. Oh, they don't vote.
I mean, they can vote, but they have to go get an ID and stuff.
Think about this. And all this coronavirus and all the bailout and everything, no one, absolutely no one, you haven't heard no media talk about what we're going to do with the homeless. We're going to do about those people that are actually could carry, that are about 1,000 that are actually can carry.
Yeah, right. They're all crammed into these little, they're crammed. Like skid rows and
stuff. Where are we going in there?
I know, right?
No one has said that. No one. Like I said, they can't vote.
Yeah, they can't vote. So, what are they?
They don't pay taxes. That's what they say.
That's the sad thing about our political environment is, literally, if they can't vote, then they are not going to get any attention. It shouldn't be that way. They're citizens just like everybody else.
Exactly. That's what I say. Let's see what the
half the TP's gone. Half the TP's gone. Everybody just freaked out right there. Like, did you see the TP disappeared? It's not real, people. Those are giant rolls of toilet paper too, by the way. Those are way too big. Those are that's like horse toilet paper.
Income tax is a scam.
True.
What do you want to talk about income tax? What do you think about income tax? How you feel it's a
16th Amendment? Is that the 14th Amendment?
Because I know that your wife, she was happy about. Now you said it's a scam, but your wife, she was happy about
Getting her, yeah, she's getting that. I'm getting a refund, and I was like, she was real happy about it. She was like, oh man, I'm getting a refund. Yeah, we're gonna spend it. We're gonna put the refund into the vacation funds. So we go on vacation. I was like, so you getting a refund, baby? And she's like, yeah, man, it's exciting. And I was like, let me see your paycheck. So I was like, you see all these withdrawals from your paycheck? Mm-hmm. You know, this deductions, all these deductions from your paycheck. So she gets paid every 2 weeks. So I was like, all right, so you multiply that by 27, because that's how many paychecks you get in a year. And then how much money does that add up to? All right, now subtract your deduction. That's how much the government got out of you. Or subtract your refund from that amount. And that's how much the government took from you over the past year.
How is it a scam?
The smile
it's
faded.
Not a scam.
It's not a scam.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How is it not
a scam?
They want their money.
So income tax is not a scam?
Well,
so taking your money that you earned through your own hard work.
And said that income tax check got me through some tough times. It came just in moment. I look forward to it. Plus, I can claim 3 kids, $150, $1,500 per kid. Can't beat that.
So I ask you. Here we go. It's the same thing I told my wife. Take your paycheck and look at the withdrawals or the deductions from your paycheck, whether you get paid weekly or bi-weekly, and then multiply it for however much you want to, for that would include the entire year, and then subtract the amount of your refund, and then that's how much money you would have if there was no income tax. So,
I mean, you gotta think about your paycheck. Think about some of the things that they take out, and you gotta think, would you be better off doing it yourself? All right, so they take Medicaid out. You gotta take a lot of money for Medicaid. Everybody. Would you rather them not take, that out and let you, put that money into your own, plan or whatnot? Same thing.
Oh, like for Social Security?
Right, your Social Security. They take Social Security out.
It's not going to be enough to support you. So it probably wouldn't be enough to pay your property taxes after you retire. It'll barely pay your property. It'll barely be enough to pay your slave tax once you retire and you want to live in your house that you bought and paid for.
They're like, we want to make sure that you have a retirement plan, so we're gonna take out money and so put in your retirement plan called Social Security. We're helping you. Yay. But if there's a crisis, just know that since we did this is our program, we can shut this down. Although you've been paying for years into Social Security, that's what scares me with Social Security.
Social Security is not an entitlement either; it's a subsidy.
They're gonna shut it down at any point.
And it's not a. You don't contribute. You don't contribute to Social Security. It's a tax. I encourage you to Google Milton Friedman on Social Security, or not Google, but YouTube. YouTube search Milton Friedman on Social Security. It's like a quick 7 or 10 minute video, I think.
Yeah.
Milton Friedman. Milton Friedman is the Nobel Prize winning economist.
Wait, right back, guys.
Well, you just spinning your. No, I hope none of the evolvers throw up.
Right.
That looked pretty bad. Why don't you use my little stand?
Oh, I should have been using that too. I seen my phone getting wet.
You saw your phone getting wet?
No, it was. I seen dripping and whatnot. So
oh.
It's like,
okay.
I don't think it'll work.
I find it really interesting that the income tax, the amendment to the Constitution that instituted the income tax, was made the same year that they invented the Federal Reserve. It's just really coincidental that was the same year, and then we had the Roaring '20s, the big boom of the Roaring '20s, and then we had bam right into the Depression, the crash of the Depression as they inflated the dollar so much that they had, as soon as they deflated it a little bit, everybody freaked out and went to try to pull all their gold. And then the government actually made it illegal to own gold back in the 30s. It was and then you had to turn in your gold to the Federal Reserve. It's considered like the greatest gold heist in the history of the world. Literally, American citizens had to turn in their gold. Gold was considered illegal to own. You had to turn in your gold to the Federal Reserve. And to this day, people are really like skeptical about where all that gold is. You know, all the gold that was turned in back in 1930 something, I think, 32, 34 or something like that. Yep, greatest little history of our economy there. That's why I said it. That's where it got ruined. Oh, Ma too put her business out there. Every 2 weeks. Yeah. Income tax. It's just so many different ways that they can get your money. Income tax, property tax, business taxes, regulation, licensing. What did I miss? Sales tax, sales tax. So not only does your income get taxed within whatever you do receive after taxes, after the government steals your money straight out of your employer. I mean, between your employer and you, they get to take their piece. And then you get this money. And then when you go to buy something with that money, they get another piece. And then at the end of the year, the piece where you bought your house, you still got to pay for that piece. See, a lot of people don't notice that property taxes because it's rolled up into your mortgage. You should still go online and look at your property taxes through your county tax website and see how much money you're paying in property taxes every year. You might be shocked. I know for my modest home here, it's $6,000 a year. So. You only wear silver, right? Get arrested for gold. Yeah, but that was the way that's the way they wanted to get away from the gold standard. So the way to get away from the gold standard is to make everybody turn in their gold. So they had to turn in their gold for dollars. In an economy where that was crashed. That was the Great Depression. So that's kind of where all this boom and bust cycle started, was back then in the Great Depression. Now they've been able to manage it for a while now, but they have not been able to manage it without increasing the national debt to a point that's almost unmanageable. I mean, I don't like to get into conspiracy theories, but as you start looking into some of this stuff, you're just like, we really need to reduce the amount of power that the government has. Like I said, I'm not into conspiracy. I think the majority of our government officials actually are trying to do what they believe is right. And when crisis like this happens, all of them think that they have to do something. I mean, literally, what's the president supposed to do? Go to a press conference and say, yeah, we're just going to let the free market handle it and walk away? I mean, he can't do that. Everybody would look at him like he's crazy, right? Even if that would be the best solution. Yeah, just let the free market handle it and advise people, send out these health advisories like from the CDC and stuff like that. But he's not going to do that. I mean, he's got to say something, right? He's got to, do something. Like with anything, you got to do something. A lot of times it's best not to do anything. I don't know where Volvy went. I was thinking about wrapping this thing up. He's still got 12 people looking at a green screen. A green, little green screen. His is almost automatic. Mine is kind of delayed. Any other questions? Any other questions about libertarianism? Our policy stances on anything else? Anybody a single issue voter? Like you vote on one issue, like healthcare or foreign policy, the military or something.
WC.
Huh?
Oh, the WC. You know what the WC is? The wash closet.
Water closet.
The water closet.
Yeah. That's German.
It's German.
Yeah, German. That's what they call the bathrooms or water closets.
Yeah.
Wasser closets.
Slaves used to call it that too. 300. What was the 390? Oh.
That's Lou posting her business online.
She got a lot.
She don't like that. She don't like that stuff.
They took 100. Yeah. Is that what they're taking?
That's every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks? That is insane. Okay, so
and that's with 3 dependents. Well, 4 dependents if you
4
count
dependents.
her mom too.
So she's getting,
Man, 169 and it's just Social Security.
that's interesting.
Man, I always wanted to visit Ireland too.
Right?
Sounds be not now. They shut down. Can't even get a beer.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad, man. I mean, Guinness must be.
Someone said something about printing money. Were you talking about printing money?
That's what the Fed does.
Oh, I guess they're asking why is it
prints money.
Oh. Why can't they just print money?
That's what I was explaining earlier. So when you print money, when the Fed prints money to give to the government, it adds more money to the amount of money that's already in circulation. Which, when there's more money, it decreases the value of every dollar. So as you add more, it makes all of it worth less.
It makes all of it worth less.
So as the dollar becomes worth less, then products and services cost more because the dollar is worth less. That's the definition of inflation. So as they print more money, it creates inflation. And inflation is literally an invisible tax on everybody, because everybody that purchases something ends up having to pay that tax through higher prices.
Okay, so the next thing I haven't hit on, so this is on the other spectrum, a divine punishment. Some believe that.
Matu says she's getting robbed.
Some people say that the coronavirus is a divine punishment. What do you think of that?
What's that? The virus is a divine punishment?
Yeah, so it's from greater because of our lack or our sin or whatnot. Now we're getting in that.
I don't know about that, but I do believe that nature has a way of balancing itself out.
Okay.
If you look at it across the board, throughout the universe, as a matter of fact, everything just seems to manage to stay in balance, like naturally stay in balance. And usually like when the plagues would hit in Europe, it was at a point when the people were consuming more natural resources than the earth could provide.
Mm-hmm.
So literally a plague would come through and wipe out a couple million, and
Let me just say this because
it's
everyone's laughing. Bobby, if you go to his channel, I just posted up the link. He was saying that he needs some CGI on this green screen. I'm on the green screen, but I'm actually on his channel. He's got some stuff going on back here and some toilet paper. If you guys go to that link, you can go and subscribe.
You can check out the toilet paper.
I'm actually on his channel, so it's not just green. So go ahead, go to his channel. Yeah,
big pile of toilet paper we got right
there. Is. We are all set and we're all set and ready and all that good stuff. Why is it that So why is toilet paper the big thing during these crises? Anyone know?
Why did he jump? Nexus said he jumped.
No, why is toilet paper the thing?
I don't know what happened with that, man. It used to be, everybody would go, it would just, all the canned food would be gone.
Canned food, bread, and milk.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was canned food, bread, milk, and water, right? Bottled water, and like Y2K, remember? Everybody just stocked up on. You know how many times I survived the end of the world? A lot, man. A lot. And this is, and I haven't even been around half a century yet.
Mm.
But I think I've survived about 5 or 6 literal apocalyptic events.
Why did they think of Y2K? Why did they think that everything was?
I just love that literal.
Why did they think that everything was going to go dark? I can't even remember.
Y2K. Oh, because of the computer systems. The computer systems were all 2 digits. So they were saying when it rolled from 99 to 00, that all the computers would just die because they were all on that 2-digit year system.
And that just sounds stupid now.
Because everything would roll back to 1900.
It would roll back to 1900.
Yeah, instead of 1999 going to 2000, it would roll back to 1900. And then like all of your bank accounts and everything
and
would
we
just
just believed that.
I did. I was fishing.
You were fishing?
I was fishing.
You Camp out or?
Hartwell, like me and Josh. Me and Josh were out fishing.
Y'all were fishing during
Y2K.
Y2K?
He was catching fish. I don't catch nothing. Josh catches all kinds of fish.
Wow. I love fishing. Man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Why did you say everybody fat now?
Yeah, well, I've never understood the whole toilet paper, but it's been fun. We put out a meme.
I put out a meme. I put out a vote for me for TP.
That was good. We did me and my nephews. We did a little video today where it was the last toilet paper in the household, and that little skit. We have a minute.
Yeah, we need to do that one. We need to edit that one. I'll get that one. It's not about toilet paper though.
No,
it's not about toilet paper.
We
could have made the mask.
We need to get on the cash now one. You
cash
scream
now.
it out the window, just like that commercial.
We already did it right here. What are you talking about?
No,
you want to do
minute.
You want to do a minute?
Yeah,
I got
minute.
you.
You know
Okay.
that. That's funny.
All right,
That's
Libertarian Minute. Go check out, if you guys haven't checked out the rest of my YouTube channel.
Go check out the channel, guys.
Check out our Libertarian Minutes that
they're super fun.
Me and Volvy here did. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're real short too, like 2-3 minutes. Pretty funny.
Yeah, guys, so what we're going to do is right now, I'm going to go ahead and see my people out. I know he's going to let me go as a guest so that he can do his outro stuff so that you can leave the people that are going to be coming to your channel or just watching this video. That way you can go ahead and do that.
Wasn't it shipping or something?
That outro.
No, man, I don't know. I don't know really with the toilet paper thing. I don't know if people just... I don't know. Well, I think somebody said that they're going to run out of toilet paper. So then everybody just rushed the stores and grabbed toilet paper. Because they said something about we're going to be quarantined for 4 months. So I guess somebody got them to have 4 months. Man, that's a lot of toilet paper. We better go get toilet paper. You know, my first idea would have been like, we're going to need food.
I was like, I'm going to need some bullets.
I got ammo, so I ain't worried about that. You know me, I'm always packing.
Anyway, there, guys. Hey, I thank you. It's been fun. Evolvers, I have 2 episodes. I want to get out one. So MGK, he has said that it was not a diss. It was he pulled a T Grizzly on us. He's now saying that it's not a diss, and it was a misunderstanding.
Oh, what? So, about the goat.
About the goat.
Rap?
He wasn't talking about that goat. He wasn't talking about the goat Eminem.
He doesn't want to get Ja Rule. He knew he was about to get Ja Rule.
I want to be on that. He was on his Instagram story, and there's a little bit more. And plus, the group they created they signed their first female. But anyway, hey, I thank you all for watching. Please go. Like I said, we support each other. He's at my channel. You see him. I'm at his channel. So you'll see a lot of these casts. So it's good to go to his channel now so that, you know, whenever we're live and I'm talking like this in the green screen, you know that it's his channel. You can automatically see what we got.
Do this. You could just log in here. We could do the green screen and we could put a big MGK.
We can put Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. We can put MGK with a Ja Rule t-shirt on.
Oh, I like it.
Mumble rock.
Mumble rock. We'll have a mumble rock band
in the background. Stay tuned. To the Evolve.
It's good there, guys. But I'm gonna let them go. Hey, and those that are subscribed, hey, thank you all. That the members. Do you have what do you call your crew? Are they the Marinos?
I don't know.
Everyone at this channel,
I'll take suggestions. Something libertarian. It's got to be liberty lovers, or
there you go,
or something freedom fighters. I don't know.
It has been a joy to stop in, and I look forward. I know you'll be inviting me more to come through and talk a little bit more on the different subjects. I know you have tons of minutes
and he thought some really good questions.
Good stuff. So I will see you all, and I will see you all, and I'll let him get going and talk with his people.
Later, Volvers.
Later.
Hey, and I'm gonna get going too. I appreciate any new subscribers that I've gotten through this. Please share the channel. I mostly just like talking about liberty and smaller government and trying to move that needle in that direction. I'm not a crazy libertarian. I think a libertarian society would be a good idea, but I would be just happy with moving towards a more libertarian society. And I think we can do that by voting libertarian, by telling the powers that be in November that we want more liberty, we want a smaller government. We want you guys to stay out of our business. Or at least to start limiting how much you guys are in our business. So that's really my focus. I'm not self-promoting, I'm more liberty promoting. And any advice you guys have that could give me, any arguments you have, I appreciate that. You know, anybody that, I know we had somebody on here arguing for a different type of socialism and stuff. And I appreciate those arguments. And I never tell anybody that they're wrong, because you never know. It could work. I don't believe it could. I believe that a more free society is the best choice. But I'm always open to hearing other people's opinions. And I appreciate that. I am running for office. You won't hear me promote that a whole lot either. As we get closer to the election time, I probably will. But right now, I'm more focused on just trying to promote liberty and the Libertarian Party. And I encourage everybody to check out lp.org or lptexas.org if you're in Texas. That's the Libertarian Party of Texas, lptexas.org. My website is marino4elpaso.com. And I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate all of your comments. Vote for me for TP. And I will see you all later. Stay tuned.